For the Scott District School Board seat is Ms. Shelley Norton. Ms. Norton.
Good evening. First, I'd like to thank the sponsors, members of the panel, our moderator, and all of the members in the audience who came out to support all of us here tonight. My name is Shelley Norton, and I'm running for the Scott District School Board seat. I've spent close to 30 years in Fauquier County Public Schools, first as a student, now as a teacher. I currently teach journalism and English at Kettle Run. Just a few hours ago, 2 of my students reached out to me. They saw signs and wanted to know what would happen if I was elected. I told them I could no longer teach at Kettle Run, and they said, "I hope you lose." I took that as gone. They are the reason that I chose this career, and they are also the reason that I'm choosing to run. If elected, I can no longer teach in Fauquier County Public Schools. I believe every child deserves a quality education. Over the past 3 years, I've watched too many students struggle through classes with long-term subs and inexperienced teachers. Although graduation rates are up, SOL scores are down in 16 of 21 areas. Education happens in classrooms, not offices. I believe the school board needs to be doing more to keep our best educators from leaving or retiring early. While pay is an issue, it's not the only one. Teachers are leaving because they no longer feel valued or that their voices are heard. We can fix this by protecting teacher planning, allowing teachers to have a voice in policies that impact their classrooms, things like bring your own device, and make sure they have the support and materials that they need to successfully do their jobs. 360 evaluations are a business standard that need to be brought back to our schools. This system allows feedback from everyone an employee comes into contact with. This change would foster a much-needed team approach to education. To bridge the communication gap and help address the substitute shortage, I would like to see all school board members and central office staff sub in our schools at least 3 days a year. They need to spend time with the students and employees that their policies impact. I want to include employees, students, and taxpayers in the decision-making process by moving subcommittee meetings to the afternoon when more people are able to attend. We need a finance committee made up of financial experts in our community, auditing the books. The 400-page budget proposal we have now does not provide enough detail or any justification for the spending. After watching what happened in Warren County, I believe increased accountability is something that would benefit every county. To make sure our schools are being run efficiently as possible, I would like to see annual climate surveys conducted by third parties. Parents, students, and employees should all be surveyed anonymously to make sure that our schools are providing everyone the support and services they need in order to be successful. The board needs to be aware if bullying is not being addressed or IEPs are not being followed. I've seen what our schools have the potential to be. I want all students to have the positive experience I had growing up here, and I will do everything that I can to get us back there. Thank you again for your time, and I hope you will vote for me on November 5th.
Thank you. And as a former teacher, I can say you don't go into education, you don't go into teaching to say, I'm out to make $1 million this year. That's probably not where you started from the beginning. Compensation does matter. It matters what your paycheck is when you open that every day or when you're looking into your direct deposit. But more important are the people that surround you. Every job that you have, every person in this audience tonight that has a job, what brings you back there? Part of it is, yes, you're getting a paycheck, but it's the people that surround you. It's the culture of the building. It's the people that surround every day that you're doing. It's being around kids, but it's also being around other adults who have that same mission. You're right, during the first couple of years, Mr. Hammond, that is the highest spike of losing some of our teachers. And what we've tried to do over the years, and Mr. Mason and I on the board have approved a mentor program under Ms. Claire Connor, I think she's here tonight, and some others from the mentor program to make sure that you're surrounded by people who can help you make the decision that this is the career for you or that it is a different career that you want to do. It's also really important every day that you know that you're a part of the decision making. That's the culture of the building, whether it's your team that you're working with or whether it's your principal. You feel comfortable that you can go down and talk to your principal or your supervisor about changes that you want to have. Last year, we implemented a longevity increase for teachers that have been here 5, 10, 15, 20 plus. I think Mr. Mason and I were at one where we gave out an award for someone being here for 40 years, and it was very rewarding to see those people. The other thing is class size. I was at a back to school night where a teacher in a classroom.
Ms. Long, sorry, before you count that back, I'm going to have to cut you off.
All right, thanks.
Okay?
Class size is important.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you very much. Ms. Norton.
I'd like to first start off by saying that I agree that nobody goes into teaching for the money, but once we're all in it, we all need to care of us. So it's important that we are compensated fairly. That being said, I think that the bigger problem right now is teachers are being pulled in too many different directions. We're being pulled during our planning period to administer tests, to cover for other teachers when subs don't show up to the building, and that creates more work that ends up being taken home. So that's becoming a huge issue. It's also not equitable. We've got teachers who are able to sell their 4 o'clock planning period every time, so they're always compensated for selling that planning period, while all the others are expected to donate their time back to the school system. So basically, if you say no, that you can't cover a class, you're looked at as not a team player. So that kind of puts us all in a bad spot. As far as the mentor program, we now have a school mentor, we have a retired teacher mentor, we have a lead mentor. We had a teacher last year who left because none of those mentors taught her subject area, so they weren't any help. And her after-school time was spent attending all these meetings. So I agree that a mentor can help, but it needs to be somebody who teaches that same content.
Thank you, Ms. Norton. Ms. Leo.